Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a whole new level of Destiny gameplay for you. I'm going to be showing you the most hardcore, competitive, sweaty, tryhard, and action-packed game of Destiny that I have ever played in my entire life, because this is community versus Bungie. I was at Bungie headquarters about a week ago and we were able to play and record early, and me and some community members, who I'll explain in just a second, are playing Team Bungie right now, the guys that made this game and have been playing for a very long time, and they are extremely good at this game. So I had to put on my tryhard panties. I had to play as hard as I possibly could, do callouts and all that sort of stuff, and I got a really good gameplay out of it. I'm only going to go about 1.4, 1.5 KD, but keep in mind, this is really hardcore playing. It's not like you can go crazy positive against people that are amazingly well. Anyway, on my team, on the community team, we put together a super team to take on Team Bungie, because they were just too good for our kind of like broken groups. So you've got me, obviously, I'm playing. I also have Pamaj on my team. Pamaj was rocking a hunter with a sniper rifle and blade dancer. He also used a little bit of the golden gun, or like the flare, the single shot pistol, to wreck people. So he's bringing up our snipes on this map. We also have Hike the Gamer on this team. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Hike the Gamer. He doesn't typically get into these twitchy kind of FPS games, but he is quite good. He was there playing with us for most of the day, and he was bringing the light machine gun pain for the most part. Also had Greenskull on my team, who was probably one of the better players at the event, because the game does play like Halo. He played a lot of Halo. He played a whole crap load of the beta, and he was mostly doing fusion rifle and ignoring everything else. Next up on my team, we have the Suddoth twins. If any of you are familiar with competitive Halo, the Suddoth twins are two professional Halo players, same kind of way like Call of Duty MLG pros. These guys play on the professional circuit. They play really hard. They play all shooter games hard. They're both incredibly talented, and most of them were rocking either shotguns, or they would do this kind of thing, like they would do like a Halo no-scope with the sniper rifle and then swap over to the assault rifle to try to finish somebody off. They were incredibly good, so we put together our superpower team of me, Pamaj, Hike, Greenskull, and the Suddoth twins versus the Bungie developers, and it was still a very ridiculously close game. And I'm going to say that the Bungie developers are actually good. Like, they're seriously really good at this game, and that's not something that I can say of all developers, and I'm not going to talk trash about anybody in particular. A lot of developers are good at their game. A lot of them are not bad at the game. A lot of them know how to play the game. They aim well, they shoot well, they do the basic stuff well, but they're not on the same level of like pro players or full-time YouTubers or guys that do nothing but play. And that's just kind of across the board. Usually it's not that hard to beat a dev team. Not to say it's easy, but it's doable. The Bungie guys are on a whole new level. Like, playing the Bungie guys, I could have sworn that I was playing like an MLG Pro Destiny team, or just a group of guys that do nothing but grind this game out all day long. They were just on a whole new level of difficulty. Game 1, this is Game 3. I'm only showing Game 3. Game 1 we played on Rusted Lands, and we got smashed. And I mean, we got smashed so bad. We only got a handful of points the entire time. I went 4 or 5 minutes without getting a single kill, and that was true of me. I think Hike also did pretty rough. Hike went about 3 minutes without getting a single kill. We all had like 0.1 KDs. It was like a rude awakening. Like, welcome to competitive Destiny, boys. This is what your future awaits. But we're all kind of tryhards, and we all wanted more. We really wanted to win, so we challenged them to a rematch. Game 2, we changed our tactics. We were doing teamwork. We changed some classes, guns, and we were actually managing to barely win. It was very tooth and nail, just like this game, but we were hanging in there, and all of a sudden, for no particular reason, Hike lagged out, and I have no idea how I got that kill. I'm just going to say it's my mad skills, but Hike lagged out of the game. Not Hike. It was one of the Suddoth twins. He dropped because we were playing on Xbox One, and they were doing some server maintenance kind of stuff, and basically mistakes were made, and that was kind of that. And the Bungie guys were like, no, we would have won. It was like, come on, guy, we're playing a man down. Of course we would have won. And we argued about it, so we decided to do this game here as a sort of rematch, and he just ran away from me. I completely wasted my special ability, but at least I can get some special ammo down here. So this is the game where we all decided to change our tactics, to play really hard. We're doing callouts, and as you can see, we're playing this game very differently than how you would play in public matches. We're putting the sweat on here. The Bungie guys also played differently than us. The Bungie guys used Titans far better than we did. Generally speaking, we did not go for the Titan classes. For whatever reason, when I play online, Titans are really popular. That's one of the most popular classes I see. However, when in our little group of gamers and YouTubers or whatever, the Hunters were extremely popular, and then Warlocks, and very few people were using Titans. However, the Bungie team used Titans, and they used the second subclass Titan, the one that drops the shield, because what they would do is they would drop the shield, and the shield protects them, gives anybody inside the shield like 4 times health, which makes it super hard to kill, and it drops orbs of light, so it charges their super ability. So a lot of times when they try to take an objective, they'd be doing something with the shield. A lot of Titans, Warlocks on their team, a few Hunters. Our team was very Hunter and Warlock heavy, probably more Hunter than anything else. All of us like being fast and dealing high damage, so our teams weren't exactly perfectly in balance. Next up, I'd like to say about this map, the tank finally got nerfed. I forget the exact name. Was it the Spectre or the Wraith? No, that's Halo terms. But the big vehicle that shoots explosives that drives around the map, I'm going to get in it later. It finally got nerfed on this map. It's not crazy overpowered, and that's another gunfight that I should have lost. I won by the hair on my chinny chin chin. But they changed the movement a little bit. They made the explosives less explosive and a little bit slower, and it wasn't the god vehicle, because previously if you weren't in the tank, you were just going to lose this game, and that was too bad. So there's actually not a lot of tank action in this one. They killed the tanks. I think I'm going to get blown up pretty good here. Next up, I'd like to say that I feel like I may have been wrong about competitive Destiny. In the video that I posted, I actually made a whole video about this, about how I didn't think that Destiny would be a very good competitive game. I didn't think it would play well because it was a little bit slower paced, it was 30 FPS, it was very pubs oriented, and there's some other things, and I still agree with those viewpoints. However, in my experience with the game, I never played anything this competitive, probably because there's no private matches, there's no special matchmaking. Like, you can't do private matches or lobbies or anything like that, so that really limits the ability to play this game competitively. However, in the Bungie offices, we could kind of do whatever we wanted. And I will say that while the game is still very publicly or pubs oriented, while it's still 30 FPS, and while there's still no private matches or anything, the base gameplay actually has potential to play competitively. Like, we played really competitively in this game, and it worked really well, and I had a lot of fun. And I'm going to tell you why for all of these things. First of all, I think that the balance is on point when it comes to the weapon classes being balanced, except the hand cannons are a little bit weak until you hit like the legendary class, and then they're almost overpowered. But the overall game balance is on point. The melee, the shotgun, the health, the movement, and the abilities, all these sort of things were really on point. Nothing was really broken or overpowered or couldn't be dealt with. Everything has a counter, and that's another big one. Counterplay was very on point in this game. Every single move that I did had some ability to counterplay. Even this overpowered sort of seeming Blade Dancer ability that I have here, you can counterplay that with, I think Void kills it really fast. You can use the Hunter crazy overshield, and you can also just shotgun me in the face. Though your shotgun deals reduced damage while I'm in that form, it will still definitely kill me. But everything sort of has a counter, so there's no tactic that can't be adjusted to or somebody that can't be outplayed. You've also got long time to kills. I mean, you have a lot of health in this game. It takes a lot of shots to kill. The fastest that I can kill anybody is with a sniper headshot, an explosive, or shotguns will do that, or maybe 3 hand cannon headshots like point blank will drop somebody really fast. But other than that, we got high time to kills like Halo. Generally speaking, high time to kill raises the skill gap, and a high skill gap only increases competitive play, just kind of like Halo. Also, the mobility was more or less on point, and high mobility games increase competitiveness. That's why Call of Duty and to some degree Counter-Strike aren't considered overly sophisticated games and more twitchy games, because you're only dealing with 2D movement. Oh god, I got shotgun really bad right there. But games like this and soon to be Advanced Warfare and Titanfall and all that can be considered more competitive, because you've got more options in movement, more ability to survive, more ability to outmove, out-gank, outflank, out-counterplay your enemy. So that's on point too. Also, the maps were distinct enough for callouts. Some maps are very generic and kind of boring. I did have a little trouble with this in Rusted Lands. Like there's that shield I was talking about. I don't think I'm going to be able to get anybody on here unless he comes out. If he comes out, he's stupid. Rusted Lands was a little bit confusing, but generally speaking, a lot of these maps have the ability for callouts because they have very distinct areas, which is good. And I think I'm just going to wait for that shield to go away. I'm not going to... That's just death, because they have like 4 times health inside that thing. I'm not going to run inside that thing. And just... Also, it helps that it was just fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with the game just being fun when you're playing hard. Had a good time, really excited, adrenaline was pumping, yelling at people, cursing a lot more than I was. You might find this to be funny, but Deej was also shoutcasting us. Not sure how familiar you guys are with the Bungie Destiny sort of community scene, but Deej is their community manager. He's really high up in the studios. He does a lot of things, and he was just kind of walking back and forth from team to team shoutcasting us, though of course we didn't hear anything because we had our headsets on, we were yelling and doing callouts. However, to a caveat, I still do agree with my other points. 30 FPS isn't really my thing. There's no public matches. And anything can be fun when you're playing with the right people. I was playing largely with people that I knew or similarly minded, very competitive gamers. The Bungie guys were playing really hard. It was a very good sort of scenario for us to play together. There was a lot of pressure on. It was like an ideal scenario for like a competitive sort of grudge match, and anything that you put in this sort of context can be considered competitive and can be very fun. If you think about in your life, I finally get this tank, though I don't think I managed to do very much good with it here at the end of the game. There are lots of games that probably weren't competitive that you played very competitively. If you think like Monopoly or Jenga or just some little game where like, oh yeah, I'm the best at GoldenEye, I'm the best at Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Became its own thing. A lot of stuff like this that wasn't really designed to be that hardcore ended up being more hardcore just based on the people that wanted to play it and show how good they were. And that kind of might have been what's going on here. Maybe it is a very casual public sort of game, but we just put too many guys with too many try-hard panties on in one room and we just tried to make it as hard as we possibly could. That does happen. But overall, this was the craziest game of Destiny that I've ever played. Some of the other ones were pretty crazy too. The second game I was actually doing really good before Suddoth lagged out. The first game was not crazy. The first game was brutal. I was introduced to a whole new world of butthurt and wreckage in Destiny that I didn't know existed. The devs were dropping tactics on us that we'd never seen just amongst ourselves. Like, they were laughing. They were sitting back there cracking jokes, laughing about how bad we were and YouTubers and all this sort of stuff, and it was really frustrating, which is one of the main reasons that we're all, going so hard here in this one, is because we really want to show that we're not bad. We can't handle that. Oh my God, get off me, vehicle! It's like, I'm in a tank. What do you think that you're going to do? Normally, I would at this point transition to just letting you hear the last little bit of gameplay, but we had to change up our headset and mix amp situation, and unfortunately it muted the gameplay in the HDMI, so there's no gameplay audio. So I'm going to talk about the end of it here. Yep, see, my team won. We're going to go through the stats. Overall, I don't think I'm going to upload a whole ton of Destiny to my channel. Like, I don't think this is going to become a primarily Destiny channel, but I'll put some content up. I think I'll stream it more than anything. You'll probably see more Destiny streams from me than gameplay. That's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.